Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Hollywood on the Rocks. So much to talk about today. We've got news, lots of Hollywood news, trailer reactions, an interview with filmmaker Cynthia Rothrock about her movie Black Creek. And I believe Alan is here somewhere. Where is he?
Yes. I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
That wasn't what I wanted to.
Alan.
Wow, that's almost a 2-year-old clip there.
That's right. How's it going, man? Hey, you're looking very 480p right here. You're very
Oh, am I?
a little blurry. How's that? How's
No,
that Wi-Fi?
No, I used up my gigabytes for the month, so I'm back on
Oh my god.
on my cable
I'm so
line
glad
here.
I didn't switch when you suggested.
No, I made a mistake and I burned up a lot of gigabytes one show, and I think I know why, but usually it takes shows like a gigabyte each. So
well, it's great. I feel like we're both on AOL.
Yeah.
Or something.
There you go. Well, I'm pretty excited. Disney greenlit Camp Rock 3, starring the Jonas Brothers.
That's real.
That's real.
Great.
Camp Rock 3.
Well, hey, lots to do today. Let's see who's here.
Lord Common for 2. Hey, Chris Gore, great stream with Neurotic. Miss me?
Yeah, of course. Of course I miss you. Good to see you. Sons and Shadows, Chris must still be cleaning up his desk. Not even close. But I got a lot to do there.
Yes. Darth Yeager, tardy and possibly homosexual.
That's a different show. But nice try.
And then Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch at shop.filmthread.com.
And check out, I'm modeling one of our Spirit of Halloween shirts. I've got it here. I'll go full screen here. Night of the Film Threat, based on the Night of the Living Dead logo. And just arrived. Got this today. So excited. The Film Threat jerseys are here. We got those. Film Threat 85. There we go. Film Threat 85. They run large, so if you're a medium, get a small. If you're large, get a medium. And there you go. They're meant to, you put shoulder pads, or I was going to wear a hoodie underneath that, but I like it. Thank you, Lord Thoth. Really, or humoring me? Humoring you. For $2, I'm humoring you.
For $4, it'll be really.
Yes, exactly. But there's a lot going on. Quick reminder for people. Submit to award this. Our award show is happening. If you are a filmmaker, you made a short film, a horror film, whatnot, go to awardthis.com. Your movie is eligible if it's in commercial release and you have a review on Film Threat. To submit your film, click on that link and check out YouTube for past shows. This will be our 7th event, the 7th Award This event coming up in 2026. I'm very proud. Alan, you should be proud too.
I am proud. We've put a lot into this just to honor truly independent films.
And Alan and I have an all-day meeting on Saturday morning to discuss nominees. We have a huge list of films that we consider, and we're going to go over that list.
And there's still time to get your movie on that list.
Yeah, we have our editors contribute. They all have their own suggestions, and we have a giant list of movies, and we'll get into it.
Last year's show, and we couldn't get any. Well, we didn't have any sponsors. I wouldn't.
We had
say-
no sponsors. Oh, yeah, that's right. We do need sponsors for the event. So if you want to see me do a dance, become a sponsor of Award This. It supports independent filmmakers, the Frida Cinema. We do the show in Orange County. It's a lot of fun. Become a sponsor. You can contribute. You can be a sponsor with cash and or donations.
Yeah.
In the
That
past,
could be your product in Chris's hand.
yes. Liquid Death has been a sponsor. Neft Vodka. So support Award This. Go to filmthreat.com/contact. Send a message. Become a sponsor of Award This. That was a great suggestion, Alan.
Oh yes.
I appreciate it.
Is there a way to make it bigger? Okay. If I rub it, I guess.
Why would you say that in the middle of the show? Why would you say it?
Well, we were talking about the
Oh.
Peacemaker.
That's true. Hey, a ton before we get to our main news story, a ton of trailers have dropped. Now, I have not seen most of these trailers. We're going to go through. But a trailer for a movie called Scared Shitless dropped. And we're going to watch it, Alan. We're going to watch it right now. I gotta get, okay. This is a real movie. It's described as a horror comedy, something right up my alley. I know you love horror. You ready for this?
No, but let's do it.
Let's watch these 2 minutes.
How is Project X coming along?
Project X doesn't exist.
They want to shut you down.
What?
They fear that you've gone rogue.
You want me to work with you as a plumber?
Yes.
What about my phobia? What about all the germs? I could die.
Look at this as like an opportunity to face your fear. Easy little fix, right?
Okay.
My boy's got it.
Dad, I need
Yeah, hold your horses.
Oh my God. So dumb.
And we saw something out of the ordinary, so we just want to make sure everything's okay.
Is that an animal?
Sounds big.
I created her, and I tried to destroy her. All of you.
From Fantasia Fest.
Oh,
Somebody call a plumber?
Oh my God. It's like a trauma movie. I mean, you are not going to get trailer reactions like that from anyone else. Alan, what are your thoughts?
yeah, I can't wait to see it. I don't know. There was a time during the pandemic when I could go to Fantasia Fest virtually. Can't do that anymore. But I remember the 2 years I did it. I loved everything that came out of Fantasia Fest.
Fantasia Fest has so many fun movies.
Yeah.
Like they're just weird movies. Movies where like you would say to yourself, I can't believe that movie even exists. And it does.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And US cinemas won't play them for some reason.
Well, look, you know when Sydney Sweeney has a new movie out that we have to look at the trailer. Now, this movie will be in theaters, I believe, in December. Later, before the end of the
Did
year.
we not do this one already? Are you talking about Christy?
No,
Okay.
The Housemaid.
Ah.
The Housemaid. There we go.
Is that four movies this year from her?
Let's talk about The Housemaid. We saw a little tease of this when we were at San Diego Comic-Con. It's a thriller based on a novel. what we saw looked awesome. There is finally a trailer out for this movie. Alan, are you ready for more Sydney
Yes.
Sweeney?
You had me at Sydney.
Okay, let's look at this. And of course, there's the teaser of the trailer before it happens. But let's watch this. Let's watch this. I talked to a friend who read the book. He says the book is amazing. So
Yeah.
looks
Remind
like
me
a
how
thriller.
did we see this at Comic-Con? Do you remember?
We saw a
What's the-
scene from the movie.
Yeah, the opening scene.
Right.
And I just
whole
remember that
thing-
opening scene was amazing. And I can't wait to see this. But
It was
where
the
did we see
interview.
it?
So it stars Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney, and it looks good. It looks on the level of Single White Female, like a psychotic, crazy
Yeah.
thriller. So, hey, Anaconda. That's a franchise that needs a reboot. And there's a trailer that just dropped. This trailer, okay. How do I describe this trailer? Stars Jack Black. Well, the movie stars Jack Black and Paul Rudd. There are two regular dudes that want to remake Anaconda. This is a great take on the concept of a reboot. Let's watch the trailer. Ready?
Yes.
You can guess it's a comedy. Here we go. So that opens on Christmas? That's crazy. I love the take. It looks really funny. I don't know. I love this idea. It's like, okay, how many other franchises can they reboot?
Mhm.
Right? There's too many.
There's
So
so many.
there are too many. So this is mocking the idea of doing a reboot by rebooting it and also making it a comedy. It's kind of also like those kids that remade Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, they made it when they were in high school on VHS, and then they finished it. There's a great documentary about that. So what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen all the best scenes from that movie.
Yeah, well, they ruined too much.
I know.
The fact that, you know,
the whole dead thing is like,
yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. A little too much, ruined a little too much, but I like it. If I'm free on Christmas Day, I'm probably not going to go see it on Christmas Day, but I'll see the movie. So,
you know, all I can say is Thanksgiving. I remember watching Strange World. Me, a old man, and his grandson, and Christmas, holidays, gotta love it.
Alan, how about another trailer reaction?
Of
Because
course.
I need to lighten the mood because
All right.
a lot of the rest of the show may not be so light. So, Good Boy, which I have now seen. Not going to give my review, but I can say this film really surprised me. It's a horror film where something is going on, and we see the entire movie from the point of view of a dog named Indy. The movie comes out in October. We'll, of course, review it. A new trailer dropped, and let's check it out. It's very short. Let's see it. So I've seen the film. I can tell you it's super creepy, atmospheric, and it really does sell the whole point of view of the dog. All the cameras are like at the level of the dog, so everything the dog is seeing, the camera's kind of on that level. And I mean, there's dialogue in the movie, but it's almost like, you know, in the Peanuts, when you see teachers, you don't really hear, I mean, in here you can understand them, but you don't really see the teachers in Peanuts or adults.
Mm-hmm.
In this, you don't really see the faces of humans because it's all like, you know, waist level of a dog. The sound design is great. I can't wait to see it in a theater. I did see a screener link, but really want to see this in a theater with the sound. And also, Alan, you're a dog owner.
Yes.
So you're going to see this.
I am. It's coming out
October 3rd.
Okay, October 3rd. Yeah.
October 3rd.
Although I do have a screener as well. So
okay, well, look, we'll review it one way or the other. I think it's really I don't want to ruin anything. I'll just say one of my favorite horror films this year, and we'll review it in depth when upon release. Let's do that.
Okay, so we're ranking this above Weapons.
No, I said favorite, not best. Favorite. One of my favorite horror films.
Okay.
Here. Okay. Cool. Hey, the movie Him is coming out Friday. We are reviewing it. Have you ever heard of a thing called the Blacklist?
Yes,
you know what that is?
Yep.
Okay, the Blacklist is a list of screenplays that, for whatever reason, have been ignored but deserve to be made into a movie. And the Blacklist, apparently, there's some debate as to whether this is accurate. Okay, so Him is, you've seen the trailer. Him, one of the best trailers for a movie I've seen this year. The movie we'll talk about on Friday. But the Door brothers, that's DOR, they make a lot of AI art. Well, there's some controversy potentially surrounding Him. And let me get to that controversy. I'll share a screen here for a minute. This screenplay was written in 2018 and was first published on the Blacklist website in November 2019. Okay? It's called Vampire Touchdown. Okay? Now, I don't know if this is real, but there's a lot of similar movies that come out at the same time. A couple asteroid movies, we see movies that are similar. There's what they call parallel thinking. A lot of people inspired by the same things come up with similar ideas. So, did the people who made Him, were they inspired by Vampire Touchdown? The movie Vampire Touchdown shows up on IMDb as in active development, but really not a lot happening with it. But it's a real project. The Door brothers did an AI trailer inspired by the screenplay. Very similar to Him. Do you want to watch it, Alan?
Yes, I do.
Here we go. We'll talk about it. But it looks very similar to Him.
If the ball hits your hands, you catch it for me. You hear me, Andre?
All right, we need this one, Andre. Game's on the line. Why is it always him? They're expecting him. Put your damn helmet on, Wesley. Throw it to me. Blue 42. Hut, height.
That'll put him out for a right long time, I reckon.
Is he?
A fallen
angel.
It's all I've ever trained for. It's all I know how to be.
I think we should focus on more practical activities, like walking without a cane.
You think you're the first kid with talent to end your career in an operating room? I've watched it happen 100 times. Yeah, well, this is my one time.
You climb up here all by yourself?
No, I flew.
That's funny. So did I.
Maybe you didn't notice I'm not a lot of fun right now.
We'll make you fun. I know a place.
There's someone I need to introduce you to.
And there he is, in the flesh and the blood. Welcome to my little thing.
What, you brought me down here to offer me some kind of freaky sponsorship deal?
I'm offering you another chance to play that game you love so dearly.
Tell me.
We're literally blood-sucking, day-sleeping vampires. And we can make you whole again. I swear it. Out there, you're just a broken thing waiting to be forgotten. But bring me fresh blood, and I'll make you a god.
I missed my block on purpose, Andre. I wanted you to get injured. But I'm sorry, man. I really am. It's cool, man. Let's go grab a coffee. I know a place.
Every soul you see here was cast aside by the world. I gave them eternity. I gave them family. And this is a family you may never leave. I want you to find him and drive a stake through his heart.
Andre, what have you done? This was a miracle.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know what? That looks good. I mean, I don't want to see the AI version. I'd rather see the real thing. But why? I mean, it's very similar to the plot for him.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah. Kinda. But you know, honestly, I'm interested in the AI trailer there. I think it's a new way of pitching your movie and probably getting a little bit extra money to make your movie at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's like a they do presentation decks.
Yeah, like lookbooks or
lookbooks, presentation decks. AI could be used to help sell your film. Look, look, we have a lot of discussions about AI on the show. I think there's a middle ground where AI can be used responsibly, but this has certainly sold me on the movie just based on that teaser. Yeah. And the Door brothers do a lot of actually really cool stuff with AI, music videos and whatnot. So worth checking out. But I've seen him. I would say it has similar. It's different. Him is different. Right. Okay.
It's not outright vampire film.
No, it's not. It's not vampire. This looks Vampire Touchdown, which is kind of a cheesy title, but it looks like something out of True Blood, actually. Mm-hmm. Like a B story from True Blood. But I don't know, based on what I've seen, worth checking out. So we'll get to your comments. Actually, let's go to comments here because we're going to switch gears on another big story. Got two main big topics today, and then we have an interview we'll get to.
All right, low comment for 2. So much blood in this movie must be a period piece. He's talking about the first movie. Rudy, scared shitless. That's the one. Rudy for 2. Kind of reminds me of Be Kind Rewind at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fu Hot Dog, I believe that's what it is. Hi, Chris Gore, great stream with neurotic Nope, sorry, reading the wrong one. Member for 16 months. Hey, Chris, are you watching Smashing Machines soon?
I have been invited to screenings. I'll see it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely see it. I mean, it's going to be an Oscar contention.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or it's meant for Oscar contention.
Meant for us. It doesn't mean anything. It's meant for. There will be a campaign mounted. just extra, you know.
The Rock and Emily Blunt, they're going for the full awards here.
Yeah. More quick comments we'll get to.
All right. Brock Samsonite, Ghoulies, also about toilet monsters.
That's right. Toilet Monsters. That's a good title for a movie.
Yeah. John Manning, this trailer highlights how much of a better actor Amanda is from Sydney. Amanda's done a whole lot more movies and television.
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta start somewhere. Wes Ray loves Sydney Sweeney, but this looks like a Lifetime movie. It looks more than a Lifetime movie. A.D. Ellis, Shades of Tropic Thunder. Yes, Sydney goes full retard. Tim is not funny. Dog the Ghost Hunter. Is that it?
There you go. There you go. That's it. That's it for now. That's it from now. Hey, let's talk about something yesterday. Indie film icon Robert Redford passes away at 89. Now, Robert Redford, I've interviewed him a couple times. He is everyone knows he's, of course, a iconic actor. I mean, so many great films. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Sneakers, films like The Natural, love The Natural.
The Sting.
The Sting, like so many films gone down the line. Robert Redford won the Gene Pool lottery, one of the best, not only best, actors, but really good looking actor. Even in a Marvel movie, The Winter Soldier, of course, he was great in that, really good turn in that. But he founded the Sundance Film Festival. And that festival was an effort to support indie filmmakers. And what he did was, in the late 70s, got a bunch of luminaries from the film world. He said, hey, there's all these regional movies that were being made. What were regional movies? Movies like Return to the Secaucus 7, small movies that were being made independently by filmmakers in all over the country. John Waters in Baltimore, people from all over were making these little small films, not studio movies, not big films, little tiny movies all over. And Robert Redford looked at these movies and saw that they had potential. The only thing was, a lot of the scripts for these small indie movies were undercooked. They needed guidance. He got together a think tank with a bunch of people and founded this institute, the Sundance Institute, where he brought filmmakers in to help them develop their scripts. Now, a film festival was created along with it called the United States Film Festival. In 1989, the same year that Steven Soderbergh's movie Sex, Lies, and Videotape was to premiere at the United States Film Festival, they changed the name to Sundance. After his character in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The Sundance Institute has helped so many filmmakers get their movies made, has supported filmmakers by premiering their movies there, getting them attention. Everything from the Blair Witch Project to Quentin Tarantino developed Reservoir Dogs at the Institute. They helped him connect with people to get advice. If you have any of the Reservoir Dogs DVDs that have extras on it, there's footage of Steve Buscemi doing scenes from Reservoir Dogs. That's from the Institute. People don't know. They know the film festival, which I think in recent years has become not as important as it used to be. And I think that's partially a reflection of the market, partially the kinds of films that don't resonate.
Mm-hmm.
But Redford created through the Institute in the late 70s, early 80s, through the festival renamed Sundance in 1989, and then came into prominence in the 90s is where the Sundance Film Festival rose. It was a way to get studio executives, come out, ski, have a quick vacation, in Park City, Utah. Oh, by the way, they're playing movies. Maybe you'll buy some. More than any other single figure, Robert Redford supported indie film, and so many people from Tarantino to Chris Nolan, to name someone, owe their careers getting their start at Sundance. And I've interviewed him a couple times. I'm going to go to some tributes in a second, but I'll show you briefly. I did a TV show called Festival Pass. Festival Pass was a TV show on Starz. I was the host, and I pitched this show as, it's like, the show on E! Wild On, but at a film festival. I interviewed filmmakers, showed the location. I interviewed Robert Redford, and I asked him to describe Sundance in one word. Here's what he had to say.
Hope. Pretty good for one word, huh?
Sundance! Sundance!
Hi, I'm Chris Gore here at the opening night of the Sundance Film Festival, and I've got one word for you. Party!
Sundance.
Crazy.
Incredible. Unbelievable. Inspiring. Phenomenal. Sundance. A word?
Surreal.
Cool.
Sundance.
Sundance.
Believing.
A relief.
Fantastic.
Slam dance. Gee. Filmy. Spirit. Exposure. Intense. Interdigitating.
What?
Yeah, interdigitating. It means all mixed up. I don't know why I'm here.
Okay, so this is a show I did for a couple of years. I was a producer on it, but I talked to Redford. Here's a little clip from the interview. We'll just watch this quick. Then I want to show some of the tributes. Here we go. This is very short.
A low profile during the festival.
Yeah,
Is that on
absolutely.
purpose?
Yeah, it is. I mean, first of all, it doesn't need me. Whatever was needed in the beginning years is long gone. Second thing, this is for the filmmakers, and I never wanted to do anything that would rob them of the attention I think they should be getting. They're the main focus. So it was always in the support mode that I would come in. And the third thing is that it was more fun for me just to come see the films and not have to be Buffalo Bill,
The Sundance Film Festival was all about.
Anyways, I'll actually put the link to this show in the description. It's in standard def. It looks like Alan right now, basically. But I was part of that show because it was like I just tried to make Sundance accessible to people that might not understand what it was or what it meant. But here's a quick tribute from the Sundance Fest website. I'll share with you as well. And I'll post on the community tab too. You can look, but here's a tribute. It says storytellers broaden our minds, engage, provoke, and inspire, and ultimately connect us. This is 2 minutes from Sundance.
I guess the best things that have happened to me in my life, and one of the reasons why Sundance was put into place, is how indebted I am to those people that had the courage to take a chance on me when I didn't fit the mold. And I am indebted to that idea, if not the very people that did it. So I want to recreate that for somebody else.
Probably the brand of Sundance is tied a lot to the festival, but the lab program is the engine that drives the whole thing. And that was started in 1980. We thought, well, someday this may work, where we can develop the skills of these filmmakers so that they can get their films made, and then maybe get into the marketplace in ways that they hadn't before. I wanted to create here in the mountains with the one thing I could contribute, which is my own property, in the middle of nature, place free of the pressures of the marketplace, and hope that the filmmakers could risk, could be bold, could not fear failure, but look at failure not as a failure like the end of the road, but maybe a step forward. It is the nature of this whole beast that what we do here and what we support for you is something that
cannot be corralled by just straight business. You can't get a noose around its neck, and I love that. It defies the work here, the work of independent film, and all of you defies the odds. It defies any attempt for business to totally control it. And it does so because it has the strength of its conviction. It doesn't know any better. It just beats it all. I mean, it goes against logic. It goes against reason. To me, that is the most moving thing. The result of that is what sustains us and what keeps us alive.
So a lot of people don't know about the Institute. The Institute was a way to support these filmmakers. Now, a lot of tributes rolled in. I'll put up a couple of these to look at. Here's from Morgan Freeman. There are certain people that you're going to click with. After working with Robert Redford on Brubaker in 1980, we instantly became friends. Working with him again in An Unfinished Life was a dream come true. Rest peacefully, my friend. I want to hear what you have to say, Alan. You've attended Sundance. I don't know if you've ever met Redford. He kind of in the interview I did with him back then, I keep a low profile during the fest. He doesn't want to overshadow other filmmakers.
Yeah, I mean, I only went one time. It was actually the Sundance right before lockdown, and I think it had definitely at that point changed a lot. But what I do know from a lot of the literature and a lot of the things I know about the Sundance Institute is, I mean, it's almost like lifelong film school, because once you're in the program, you go in the program, you have a script, or you're developing a script, or you're just trying to, you have access to all these filmmakers who can help make your dream, who can give flesh to your dream, so to speak, in terms of giving you ideas of where your script needs to improve, where it needs to go, and then giving you access to people who could potentially make that film, and then to have it then premiere at Sundance. Those were the things that it really is those independent films that I liked at Sundance the year I went, versus the long weekend of Hollywood studio films that they're just throwing out there. As much as those Hollywood films bring attention to the film festival, it's really these smaller independent films that are quite incredible and impressive, with at least the ones I saw there.
Well, there's I don't know what Sundance is now. I think it's been infiltrated mainly by activists, and it's sad. It's not what it used to be. But watching that video of myself talking to him, that was Sundance at its height. Like early 2000s, me 25 years younger with my weird goatee. And
you were almost unrecognizable with fresh hair.
What can I say? But all I'm saying is that was the heyday. That was when it was a good balance of, like, they'd show a Blair Witch Project or some small little thing along with a film with like bigger stars, that drew attention, but then smaller movies could rise. This is from Piers Morgan. R.I.P. Robert Redford, 89, one of the all-time great movie stars. He was a movie star in an age when there are very few. One of the last movie stars, a true Hollywood legend who starred in so many of my favorite films: Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, The Way We Were, All the President's Men. What a career! What an actor! What a sad loss. This is Ron Howard. He posts. I mean, a lot of people posted all positive. Isn't that great? All positive. Ron Howard, R.I.P. and thank you, Robert Redford, a tremendously influential cultural figure for the creative choices made as an actor, producer, director, and for launching the Sundance Film Festival, which supercharged America's independent film movement. Artistic game changer. He really was. He really, like more than any other figure, kind of just rocks. I mean, independent film went on to really win all the Oscars. They became the Oscar-winning movies, and Here it is from Variety. Everyone calling him an icon. So it's very sad, but the impact, if he had never even starred in a movie, he'd have had a huge impact on Hollywood. Let's go to comments.
Yeah, fun with collecting. Robert Redford and Paul Newman were guys on a different level. They gave so much to the world while it kept giving for decades to come. Hey, I have to say that growing up in my family, there, we would sit around the TV, watch movies, and certainly the movies we saw were All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy, The Sting, 3 Days of the Condor. I mean, those are movies that are ingrained in my mind as a child, and they all starred Robert Redford. All right, Andy makes Star Wars. Independent film are where the ideas of my nephew is currently making his first 10-minute film at film school. Did I read that right?
No. Independent films are where the ideas are. My nephew is currently making his first 10-minute film.
Yeah, period would have been great there. All right, Killer Games cast. Was that Chris or young Fred Durst?
Fred Durst was playing me. So there you go. Our main topic today, we'll be discussing this for the next half hour-ish. See where it goes. Is Hollywood at a turning point? It says Hollywood is at a turning point, and I think they are. With the death of Charlie Kirk, we've seen a lot of reactions. What Alan and I will be discussing is how Hollywood is reacting to the assassination of Charlie Kirk and how this may affect Hollywood going forward. We've seen mainstream media and legacy news collapse, ratings collapse, Stephen Colbert getting canceled, his show getting canceled. Jimmy Kimmel may be next. We've seen ratings spiral and a lack of trust in mainstream news. And they're clearly, and we talk about it when it comes up, which is almost every week, people liking what Hollywood puts out less and less. And this divide couldn't be more noticeable than with the reaction to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So let's take a look at some things, some comments, both positive and negative, out of Hollywood about this. I really do think this really is a watershed moment. America is forever changed, and this Kirk's death, I think, when we look back, will be as impactful as Martin Luther King or Robert F. Kennedy in the late 60s. And we are at a stage in America where things are as heated as the late 60s, the tumultuous 60s. But let's see how people have reacted here. We've got Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis has a trans child, and curious how she would react. Let's take a look. A lot of people are saying that her reaction is kind of unexpected. We're going to take a look at, how she reacted here. This is a
liberal Hollywood star Jamie Lee Curtis breaking down in tears while paying tribute to Charlie.
I can't pause it.
Charlie Kirk.
I can't. Is that a short? I can't pause shorts. Please never show me shorts. Okay. Let me see if we can try that again. Okay. We're not showing.
Liberal Hollywood star Jamie Lee Curtis breaking down in tears while paying tribute to Charlie Kirk.
I disagreed with him on almost every point I ever heard him say.
Yeah.
I still believe he's a father and a husband and a man of faith, and I I hope whatever connection to God means that he felt it.
Curtis also saying that the steady stream of graphic content on social media and elsewhere has made society numb to shocking incidents like Kirk's murder.
Well, I would agree with that assessment. I'll just say we've seen both positive. I did not expect her to react that way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, well, to Jamie Lee Curtis's credit, you know that she never dehumanized him, because for her to feel deeply about Charlie Kirk as a human being, about a father, about being a husband, touched her. So there are people who have not, and it's sadly those of us in the older generations, the boomers and the Gen X, who realize that it's all debate and it's not personal. It's we recognize that a human being is a human being and deserves rights no matter whether we agree with them or not.
Yeah, there's we're going to show comments from Hollywood all over the map. Normally when someone passes away, like say, or when someone is no longer with us, you want to focus on the positive things about that person in the moment. We talked about Robert Redford earlier in the show. I would defy you to find anyone saying anything negative, but Charlie Kirk was, he was a controversial figure, even though he was very sort of mainstream conservative.
That's the thing that bothers me is he's not a controversial person. He's a conservative who could speak eloquently his beliefs. That's not controversial in any way.
It's not controversial, but he was very he wasn't
not provocative. He was just someone who could debate well.
Exactly. And I watched so many of his I found his videos very entertaining and illuminating. And even when he disagreed with people, he would say respectfully disagree. He'd say, I'll pray for you. He respected people who did not agree with his views on whether it be abortion, trans issues. Here is,
and again, not controversial in any way.
Yes. Now, Tim Russ played Tuvok.
Yeah.
On Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know his politics.
He's very left and thought it appropriate to tweet out a graphic of a photo of Captain James T. Kirk, black and white. And it says, the only Kirk that matters. Not coming right out and saying anything about Charlie Kirk necessarily, but this is where we're at. The comics are almost all against him. I'm sure there's some that are supportive. I see people I know, Quarter Black Garrett, Disparu, from My Nerdy Home. Alan, if you would read this.
I can't. It's too small.
You think Charlie Kirk doesn't matter, so that justifies him being shot in the neck and killed? Is that really what you just implied with this pic? People who you don't think matter deserve to be assassinated? Well, at least the actor pictured knows the assassination of someone is wrong, regardless of how you feel about him.
Hey, read the one underneath it. No, scroll up. Just underneath hers. From
William Shatner saying assassination is so senseless. Condolences to the Kirk family. Or Tim Russ could have said nothing. He literally could have said nothing.
Yeah.
Let me go to Justine Bateman.
I'm just saying that the Kirk comment, the Russ comment is gloating.
Yes. The Justine Bateman, friend of the show, was on the Jesse Waters show on Fox News, had some comments. This is a couple minutes long. Let's take a look.
was just like incredible sadness, especially because this wasn't a politician. It wasn't somebody who was setting policy that directly affects your life. It was just somebody who was expressing what works for him and asking people to explain, not even to him, but almost to themselves, what they understand for themselves. Having them explain. If somebody says I'm queer, and he would say, what does that mean to you? Can you explain to me what queer means? And making people explain their own positions to themselves, which I think is a really interesting way to go. If you can't explain your own position to yourself or to others, then what kind of position is that?
It's like Socrates. He went around and he asked questions, and the people got angry about the fact that he was asking questions. Maybe they couldn't answer those questions. Maybe those questions were deemed a threat. And it looks like in Utah, those questions were deemed a threat. What does that say about us?
I mean, that's the interesting thing, Jesse. We've had, from like 2016 to 2024, both sides really, being like, no, this is what I believe and this is what's right. And the other side saying, this is what I believe and this is what's right, and having that kind of thing. But now we're at a level where there is a group of people, and I'm not even going to call it the left or whatever, because I don't find this to be rational in any way. There's a group of people for whom, when you say these things they don't agree with, they react as if they are the Wicked Witch of the West and you've just splashed water on them. Or, do you know what I mean? Or you're a vampire and you've held up, you've splashed holy water on them, or you held up a wooden cross or something. It's so irrational. It's, and it's like a toddler having a tantrum. It's like, use your words, which is what Charlie was trying to do. Use your words, explain your position.
I like Justine. I don't know that she would align herself with either the right or the left. But she's clearly leans more conservative, and is just, I don't know if she would say she's on the right or conservative. She's not whatever's happening on the left.
But I
think that's fair to say.
She is a classic liberal.
Yes.
Just if you just listen to what she said there.
Yeah.
Liberals, I remember liberals in the 80s were all about freedom of speech, about you being able to express your opinion and not have any backlash because of it, not being thrown in jail, not having your bank accounts taken away, and not being shot, for crying out loud. But what I have found is that in this world, in the forum of debates, it's not two opposing sides coming at each other and there's a winner at the end, but oftentimes it's two sides coming at each other and then finding common ground in the middle. It's we talked about it with Rainn Wilson. We all want America to be a great country. It's just that we have different ideas of how to get there. And if we as speaking of politics, if we could just legislate the common ground, this country would be a much better place.
Yeah, I think that most people are in the middle, but kind of, radicalized by just a lot of
when you say in the middle, it's I believe we agree more than we disagree.
True. I've got a lot more I'm going to get to. Again, both sides of the spectrum in Hollywood, from Debra Messing's Instagram. I couldn't sleep last night. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is so horrifying and devastating. I found many of the things he said offensive. That's okay. But he was a father of two, a husband, a devout Christian, someone smart and articulate who believed in the power of debate over violence. He traveled to campuses around the country to give students a platform to speak, even to speak against him. He was respectful. While I didn't agree with him, I respected that he encouraged peaceful dialogue and critical thinking. The idea that disagreement could justify erasure is barbaric, and the fact that so many are celebrating it is horrifying. Today is also 9/11. Wow, she posted this on 9/11. Another devastating anniversary of mass death in the name of ideology. We all saw the videos of people joyously celebrating then. The same celebration is happening now. It is the same thing. Take a moment to think about what it means to celebrate this, to sing, to hand out sweets, to laugh at someone's death. Violence and murder can never be acts of virtue. They can never be justified as violent resistance. Those who commit killings may see themselves as heroes, as liberators, as resistors, as they chant resistance by all means necessary. But they are not. They are murderers. This is terrorism. No cause, no grievance, no politics, no arguments can make this assassination anything but barbaric. I have always considered myself a liberal. Today, I feel politically homeless. The far left protests and dehumanizing in the name of fight against violence, yet here the same people are celebrating violence. Something very wrong has happened to our society. We no longer see humanity. We have no tolerance for difference, no patience for conversation, no interest in facts. I am praying for Charlie Kirk's family, his friends, and the students who witnessed his killing. I'm also praying for those who are celebrating, that they wake up to the darkness they are endorsing. We have to be better. We have to be human. Debra Messing, I didn't even ever really know what her politics are.
She's
liberal. She's a liberal, but that's very well said. Yeah. Very well said. Here's something from Selma, Blair, and I haven't read all of these. We all kind of added to this, there's a bunch to look at. So Debra Messing one. This is from Brandon at Trashman84. Selma Blair made her feelings known regarding Charlie Kirk. I hope we see more celebrities willing to speak out on their beliefs. You know that there are many more people who keep their mouths shut. Selma Blair said, this incredible man who would go into the cauldron of indoctrination and use logic to have dialogue. I'm sick for his family, for all of us. So,
and then Christian Chenoweth responded.
And then people saw my messages. People,
yeah,
they're messaging me there. We've got a bunch more here of people saying some you wouldn't expect. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I'm going to bring this one up. If you have any comments, Alan, just
yeah.
But
I mean, to your point, it feels like the pendulum is swinging back.
Well, I think the pendulum to common sense. Let's look at this. Let me know when to stop this. He's talking. It's from the LA Times. The timing of this just
right, and he's at USC, a bastion of
yes. So here we go. Let's just look at this.
On a very serious and somber note, last week, as everyone in this room knows, the country witnessed the most horrific murder of Charlie Kirk on a university campus in Utah. It was a highly disturbing event, and I know that it's shaken a lot of members of our community. And I wanted to ask you, what were your reactions to this event, and what can you say to help our community process what this event means for something that we all care so much about, which is even when we disagree with someone vehemently over politics, it should never, ever descend into violence of any kind.
Well, I was very, very upset that someone's life was taken because they have a different opinion. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, this was a great communicator, a great advocate for the right, for Republican causes. And he had such a great way of communicating with the students that agreed or disagreed with him. And I just thought, it's a human being. A human life is gone. And he was a great father, a great husband. And I was thinking about his children. They will only be reading about him now, instead of him reading to them bedtime stories. I mean, it's just unbelievable of what is going on. So I was shocked when I saw this, as we all were. And I think that since then there are endless amount of debates about how do we stop this? But we have to acknowledge that the cause of all of this is the social media companies that are dividing us, the mainstream media companies that are dividing us, the political parties, the Democrats that are dividing us, the Republicans that are dividing us. So we're getting hit from so many different angles. And we have to be very careful that we don't get any closer to that cliff. Because when you fall down that cliff, down there is no democracy. So we have to be very, very careful. And I think it is very important that we turn this around. And that we show people power. Because the people can turn this around. The people have the ultimate power. That people always say, well, what can I do? I'm just an individual. But each and every one of you in here can make a difference.
There, it goes on. We'll put links to everything will be in the description. I know that people like to highlight a lot of the negative stuff. It's nice to see a sober mind like that. Now, this one, a lot of people did not see. Mark Ruffalo. This is on Soul Boom, Rainn Wilson's podcast on YouTube.
Whom we heard from on Monday.
Yes, we heard Rainn Wilson. Let's hear Mark Ruffalo on Rainn Wilson. Here we go. A brief clip.
It's hard to bring up. Charlie Kirk was killed.
Yeah, man.
This is tearing the country apart in so many ways, and the country is being torn apart in so many different ways. While I didn't agree with his ideas, shooting someone that we disagree with, even if they're vociferous and loud and out there, is so colossally wrong-headed. I spoke to a couple of, let's say, some liberal friends last night at an event, and they were like, you won't find me shedding any tears. And someone else was like, oh, well, there was a little bit of a kind of a good riddance thing. And it's like, guys, no.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
We cannot think or talk that way.
Not at all.
That is not
It's
okay.
so dangerous, man. I mean, my first thought was, also we had another school shooting.
Yeah. Which totally got buried in the headlines.
Got buried in the headlines. Of course it would, though. And listen, I'm someone who, my brother was murdered. I lost my brother through gun violence, And so this is a real personal topic for me. There's no winning. We'll never win this way. There's no idea that if we cheer on our opponents being hurt or harmed in any way, that we win as a society. And we all lose. Like I know what his family is going through. Like I understand that on such a personal level. And it's a tragedy that not only the person who is killed experiences, but the entire family and community around that person. Like this is no joke, And so it does break my heart even for someone that is not my political opponent, who would probably call me an idiot.
Now I want to push back, but I want to push back on you a little bit for even using the word opponent.
Right.
Like someone who disagrees with, who we disagree with, even vehemently, and we think they're sending the country in exactly the opposite wrong direction that goes against even Jesus's teachings himself. Like, how can we reframe it from opponent to, just someone we disagree with? I don't know what the word is exactly.
Yeah. Maybe that is the wrong word, but it's someone who's, we might be on complete ideological opposite ends of the world, but this is the problem in the world. Like, where do we go when violence is the only solution?
Yeah.
Like, that's the final solution, that ethos is what we're going to embrace.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at now. I mean, people are walking around with weapons of war. This is a weapon of war. I mean, I don't know what killed him, but more often than not, we're seeing people killed with weapons of war that are nothing.
It was a sniper rifle. So this
for
was
nothing
planned.
more than to kill human beings. That's what these weapons are for,
Now he's going to go into gun rap, but at least, I mean, it's rare that Mark Ruffalo will say something. At least it's not.
See, this is the discussion I had about opponents.
Yes.
Using the term opponent implies there's winners and losers. You are either the winner or the loser. And the people in charge are the winners, and the people who are not in charge are the losers. And that's the wrong way to go about it. Again, it's not about who's in power and who has the power. It's about, how you make this country a better place. And it is this forum of ideas that needs to be had. Look, if you want to win an argument, if you want to win a debate, construct a winning argument.
That was the point of what Charlie was doing, is let's debate. Let's see if there's any common ground or change each other's minds.
And I don't think Charlie is saying I am the winner. I am the wise one. I am of all knowledge. But what Charlie did, and I think this is what arguments and discussions should be, is to say, I have an opinion. And by hearing an opposing opinion, two things will happen. Either my opinion will be strengthened because I can see where, I can see the strengths of my arguments, or you look at your argument in a more nuanced way and say, okay, maybe I'm not 100% correct, but what do I do with the 10% I'm not correct in, and 90? You know what I'm saying? It's you either strengthen your argument or you change your way of looking at things.
Well, I gotta move on because we have a guest coming and a lot of comments. But here, want to end on maybe a bright note. Here's what Jimmy Kimmel had to say. But stay with me because breaking news just happened. Okay. I have a point to this. Let's watch this.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Well, I'll just say on that, I don't have a problem with him making a joke. Fine, make a joke.
Mm-hmm.
He has mischaracterized, and this is spread on so many other outlets, that the shooter was right-wing, a Republican. That is not true. That is not true based on all the evidence that's come out, messages, letters, it is so much. But guess what? Breaking The Hollywood Reporter FCC chair threatens Jimmy Kimmel over Charlie Kirk monologue comments. And to be clear, Alex Jones was sued into oblivion over false statements over a school shooting. Maybe there needs to be some accountability with the mainstream media's outright lying about people, dehumanizing half of America. This is what needs to end. If it takes some kind of lawsuit, maybe bankrupt ABC, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. But this just broke a couple hours ago. So there we go. It's breaking. Final thoughts, Alan, then we'll go to comments.
Speaking specifically to this, the threat is that to take ABC's license away from broadcast license, because they are able to broadcast over the airwaves for free, and we're able to watch them for free. And therefore, there's stipulations where you do have equal time. You do have to present both sides. You cannot be the propaganda arm of one party over the other.
Right.
And so that's kind of what's going on there, and that they could lose affiliates and things like that. And again, you pointed out, Alex Jones was basically hammered for the same reasons. And while I think it was wrong for them to have done that to Alex Jones, it's kind of like good for the goose, good for the gander, and that's what's happening here. Never should have. If it didn't happen to Alex Jones, I would, I kind of brush this off as Jimmy Kimmel being a moron and an idiot.
Well, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there, but I really hope that Charlie's legacy is preserved and his work, he's allowed to speak for himself. Because as someone who's watched him for years, he's being mischaracterized. Let's go to your comments. By the way, Cynthia, we will get to you momentarily. We just have to go through some homework here with some comments. Let's start with Soups.
Yes, from Jordan Alvarez.
Alvarado.
Here we go. For $4.99, Mark is responsible for some of this. He's on the front lines of those rallies wearing no kings on his hat, calling people Nazis, no accountability. He's definitely being political, which is what he's allowed to do. Rudy, remember, for 8 months. It's absolutely disgusting. Kimmel is spreading lies, and he knows it too. I'm tired of these double standards. Matthew Hammond for 2. Both sides' arguments lack introspection. And J&J Games and Music became a new member.
Thank you for that. Look for our look for our videos for members only. There's a lot of good comments I'm reading, not all Soups either. These are just great comments. We will get to those shortly, but we have a special guest on the show today. Cynthia Rothrock is a multi-talented filmmaker, and she's behind the movie Black Creek, and she's joining us in the studio live to talk to us about her new film. Let's bring in the studio. Hey, Cynthia, you're here. How's it going? Let's feature you here. That's great. How's it going?
Great cap, by the way.
It's going great. I just flew in last night from the Czech Republic, so a little bit of jet lag, but doing good.
Oh, that's right. You are in the middle. It took us a while to set up this interview. You're in the midst of a lot of work. That's great. That's great. Love that. Being busy is good. Tell us about your movie Black Creek, and I want to show the trailer so people can get a taste of what it is you do.
Okay. You're going to show it first, or you want me
Well,
to?
show, but you tell us about the movie.
Set it up.
Okay. Well, after doing about 70 films, I decided to do my own film. And I always wanted to do that because I wanted to be in control of the fight scenes. Every time I watch action movies, most of the time I get a little critical, saying, oh, that punch wasn't right. That foot wasn't right. That was a miss, So I just wanted to do my own movie and invite like all my martial art actor friends in it. And I wanted to do something different. I never really like to, I'm kind of a unique kind of a person. So I wanted to bring something that incorporated Western in with martial arts. Usually when you see Western, you see like the old brawl, the saloon fights or 1-2 punch kick, but I wanted to bring in a lot of action to it. And I wanted it to be dark and gritty and have very powerful female cast. And the great thing about this film is I raised the money on Kickstarter. We became the second highest funded action picture in the history. And so it's a fan-based film. So in the film, there's a lot of backers in it. So it's a really special and unique, unusual film.
Well, I see it on Indiegogo. It got over 130 grand.
Yeah, that was our second campaign. First, we did Kickstarter, and we got over 300 on that one, and then we went into Indiegogo. And even though it was quite a bit of money for that campaign, it's still a small budget compared to industry standards of doing action pictures. And we shot this film, and it was incredible in 14 days, and it's a 2-hour film. So wow. It was just. I think from the start to the finish, very blessed production.
Well, I see Bobby Lapierre did the review on Film Thread, which got 8 out of 10. I'm looking at it here. That's a great shot right there. 8 out of 10. That's great. Let's take a look at the trailer, just so our audience can get a taste of the movie. I've got it queued up here. We'll talk about it more on the other side. Here we go.
Where's my brother?
He's dead.
I'm real sorry about what happened to your kin.
I found my family murdered.
You don't want to mess with Sinclair. He's powerful. He's got an army.
What the hell are you doing on my land?
Your land. Kill anyone gets in his way.
You have much to learn. Your spirit is strong, but your body needs time to heal.
Think of taking any big chances to get you put in a grave. The only one that's going to be put in a grave is Sinclair.
I'm going to enjoy ripping you apart with my own bare hands.
Let's fight.
Damn. It looks like you did a lot of your own stunts.
Yeah. I've been doing martial arts for quite a long time. So, of all the films I've done, they're all pretty much most action related. And I used to be a world champion, and that's kind of how I got involved into films. Is that Corey Yoon was looking for a guy to be the next Bruce Lee for a Hong Kong movie, and I went down and auditioned, even though they were still looking for a guy. And he was like, "I'm going to go with the girl." So my first movie actually was Yes Matter with Michelle Yeoh in Hong Kong.
Well, we've got 2,800 people watching live. We'll get to your comments and questions in a moment. But what is it about Westerns? We've reviewed a lot of Westerns on the channel, indie Westerns. What is it about that genre? It's very American. It's really Westerns come from the American spirit, I believe.
Yeah, well, I've always loved Westerns. I think ever since I was a little girl, because one of the few females that really I knew about that was a tough woman was Annie Oakley, So I used to watch all these, that's where it started. And then I loved Yellowstone. And I was like, yeah, I want to do a Western. And obviously I didn't have that budget to make it as dark and gritty, but I tried the best I could, what I had. And I wanted something different, a different kind of Western, to incorporate these two genres and bring them together. So I've always been a big fan. And we shot this film at Mescal, the studios in Benson, Arizona. And that's where they had some iconic Westerns like The Quick and the Dead, Outlaw Josie Wales, Tombstone, so it was really, really cool to be filming in these sets where these iconic Westerns were shot.
Well, we've got a lot of people watching live. We have questions for you and comments here. So here we go. Lou Burr says Cynthia rocks. Don
That's
Mac-
rocks.
Yeah, I mean, your name sounds like an action star, right? Rothrock.
Yeah.
Don Mac, I remember she was in a lot of martial arts movies in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Well, I've done, like I said, 70 movies, and my first film was in 1985, and I just continued doing them. I stopped around 1990 for about 8 years because I had my daughter then, and I didn't want to be, the mom that had to leave her daughter. I wanted to spend as much time with her as I could. And when she got into school, I couldn't take her with me, and she, got to a point where she didn't want to be with mom. She wanted to be with her friends. So I was like, okay, I have to get back to filming and working.
What were the challenges you faced shooting in 2 weeks? That seems, especially for an action film.
I'm telling you, it was tough. I don't even know how we got it done, but we did. And we had people from 9 different countries come here and do fight scenes. So we didn't have any time for rehearsals. So our fight director, Mike Muller, was from Germany. He put together like the fight scenes, and we sent them to everybody. And we said, know your fights. And when they got to set, we had to just quickly get them and then shoot them. It was kind of like Hong Kong filming. That's how it is. There's no rehearsal. You learn the choreography and then you just go shoot it. So everybody kind of brought their A game and did incredible, so we were able to do it. Now some of the acting takes we only had one or two takes to do, so it's like, please know your lines.
You got what you got.
William, member for 14 months, Rothrock is an all-time GOAT. Lee Kindler, martial arts, Western, and Cynthia Rothrock, sold. Thank you for that. And Sons and Shadows, any plans for a physical media release eventually? This needs to be in my Rothrock collection. Our audience is really into DVDs.
Yeah, well, it's streaming right now. And I know it's in the United States, Canada, Australia, the UK, and it's coming to Latin America and Northern Africa, Middle East, and Portugal. So that's where it's coming right now. It's on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Fandango, and I believe the DVD release might be released through Vantage Media at the end of September.
Yeah. Let's see. Davina Duckworth, did Cynthia and crew run into problems with the quick shooting schedule? Well, Alan kind of already asked that, but thank you, Davina. ADL24. Some of us watch public domain films together weekly. Recently checked out American Tigers with Sam Jones. Do you have any good memories from filming that throughout Long Beach?
Oh my gosh, that was like a cameo I did. And I remember like they had me play myself, Cynthia Rothrock. And it was great, like fighting, with the Machados. But yeah, I just had a one day on it. And I just recently saw a clip of it the other day because I've done so many films. I forget a lot of them. And then when I see them again, it brings back all these great memories. And I'd say just that we had some really good fight scenes in that film is, what I remember.
Yeah. Let's see. Nerd Far Away says, "Hail Cynthia. Which do you think is most important for a quality production? Budget, editing, or timeline?"
Oh, well, that's a tough one. It's definitely the budget. If I had like 3 times that budget and had like a 30-day shoot, I could bring something incredible to the screen. And, it's really about the editing. Your post-production is important because if we edit it with our editor, and if we didn't do that, it might not have come out as great as, we imagined with the fights and everything. And, also your color correction and your sound is so important. It's the whole post-production. I can't say like, well, obviously if you have more money, then you could get better production. So, probably budget.
Aid Ellis 24. How is it filming in Arizona? Are you able to assemble your crews from local workers? What were the biggest challenges of working in the desert / Wild West environment?
Yeah, our crew was local from Arizona, and it was very tough because we had night shoots. So if you see the film, I wanted this kind of eerie, kind of lantern, fiery look, like nice dark colors coming in. So it's a lot harder because you have to shoot the whole set, whereas if you shoot it in the day, you don't even need light. So it was a bigger endeavor for us to do that. And we shot in November, and it is freezing in the desert. It is so cold. Like we were fighting, I was doing the ending scene with Richard Norton, and it until 4 a.m. and it was like probably about 30 degrees, windy, that's why we all have overcoats on and everything, because it was so cold. And the more you stretch, your muscles just didn't want to like loosen up. And at Mesco Ranch, they don't have electricity. So we had to bring all the electricity in the water, which was also a little bit harder for us too, budget wise. And we had one heater on set. So every time there was a break, you'd have about like 30 people like crowded around this like one heater. So it was very tough. So we're getting ready to work on the sequel, and definitely I'm not going to pick the winter months.
LFC fan says, as the director and lead, how do you make sure the story and whole cast are in focus instead of only your performance? I mean, you wear multiple hats.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've ever worn multiple hats. Usually I'm just the actor and I get to go in my trailer and study my lines, but I didn't direct this, but I was producer, and my partner and I, Robert Clancy, we did the wardrobe, we did the casting, we did everything, because they were like, oh yeah, wardrobe, that's going to be like $90,000. And we're like, we don't have that in our budget. So I think we hit every thrift store from Southern to Northern California looking for like authentic Western clothes. But you know what? It was tough for me, but I co-wrote the script, so I knew the character quite well. But I was on set all the time, like watching everybody. If there was a problem, someone came to me, dealing with the cold. Like a first day of set, we had 150 people on set. That was like crazy to do that on the first day. But we've learned a lot, and for Black Creek 2, we think it'll be a little bit easier of a shoot.
Christopher Moonlight Productions asks, I find that love of a genre or medium can really influence how a story is told. Did you start with ideas for action scenes and work out the script from there? Or was there a script and then action?
No, I started with the script first, definitely what the storyline was going to be. And actually, even when we were writing the script, we didn't even detail the action. We just said, okay, there's going to be a fight here and this is going to happen. And then got together with our choreographer, Mike Moeller, and we went through the ideas of what we wanted. And on this movie, I wanted, because I have like the biggest cast of action stars. I have Richard Norton, who unfortunately passed away this year. Don the Dragon Wilson, Benny the Jetter, Ketis, Keith Cook from Mortal Kombat, Marcus Taylor. And then you see a lot of martial art masters. So they all had their own style of fighting. So all I wanted it to do is to have what they're fighting, what they're comfortable with, but make every movement strong and powerful.
Ololique asks, I've cheered you forever, whether fighting alongside Michelle Yeoh or against Yun Bao. What Hong Kong scene was your most grueling, and which U.S. production came closest to being what you hoped for?
There's so many that I think every Hong Kong movie I did was grueling. I'd say, and like, when you see Jackie Chan, he gets hurt on films. That just happens. I'd say probably the most grueling one was Lady Reporter, because the stunts were, and I'm not really a stunt person. I am an action person, but I do all my stunts. So, I'm jumping off of 2-story buildings with a fake baby in my hand with a fire explosion going behind me into mattresses with boxes. We're not talking about nice, cushy stunt cushions, I got hit in the nose with weapons. I got choked with a chain. I got kicked in the face where my ears started bleeding, and I thought I was dying, when blood comes out of your ear. And I went to the doctor, and he said, oh, he kicked you so hard in the face, your internal ear is split open, but you can't get in there. So there's nothing you could do. So go back to the set. So it's kind of, being, especially a woman and being in the Hong Kong film industry, you have to be really tough. You have to know you're going to get hurt, that you have to hit hard, and you are going to get hit hard. So, yeah, I'd say that. And I'd say probably the closest film to Hong Kong was a movie I did, Sworn to Justice. And the reason, or China O'Brien, but that was part of Golden Harvest. I had like some stunt people for Sworn to Justice, and Golden Harvest put out China O'Brien. And, if I had the budget, I would totally love to do, Hong Kong action in Black Creek too. But, if you say like, yes, madam, you saw that, just that ending fight scene was a month long. So,
Wow.
And
do you enjoy, what's your preference, Hong Kong or US production?
well, for story wise, definitely the US, because the stories get a little kind of crazy in Hong Kong. But for action, you can't beat the Hong Kong action. I love that. And like I said, the shortest movie I did was Righting Wrongs, and that was 5.5 months. So, it takes a lot of time. There's no hurry. There's no problem about budget. There's the stuntmen are on set all day. So, yeah, I would love to do a movie with a Hong Kong director, and go back and get some of that incredible action in there where you have time to shoot a movie for 6 to 8 months.
And a final comment here from Jason, 5 Canadian, says, I love Film Threat. This is a great interview. Thanks for having Cynthia on and all the great content you and Alan create for us. Well, thank you. And Cynthia, thank you for joining us on the show today. It's a pleasure. What do you, final thing to ask you, where are you? Can you tell us where you are now and what you're working on?
Yeah, I'm in California. That's where I live. I travel around the world. I will. One of the things I'm excited about is next February, I'll be doing a film with the amazing director, Richard Stanley. And it's kind of in the horror genre. And horror is like my favorite movie to watch, like my genre. So I'm so excited about that. And like next week, I'm off to Cologne to a Action Con. So I'm always like traveling. I'm in the midst of finishing up a book I just did. And, I do a lot of seminars, appearances around the world, and currently working on Black Creek Part 2.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Congrats again. And Black Creek is streaming now. So
Yes,
you can see it.
watch
Get
it
it. Great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.
Bye. Thanks so much.
That was awesome, Alan.
I wanted to ask her what craft services was like in Hong Kong, but
You're all about the food.
I
Hey,
know.
let's go to comments that we didn't get to. I apologize, folks. We're gonna go with your comments here to wrap up the show. A little shorter show today. And I've had too much coffee. I gotta run and I'll be right back.
okay.
It's all you, Alan, from the
All right.
top.
Let's do this. D. Goodhart. Hollywood should be at a turning point, but I do think that remains to be seen. If you see anything, it will first be with the Sundance controlled Paramount. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes out of Paramount. I mean, look, Star Trek, Skydance has been involved in Star Trek, but hopefully the new CEO will take over. And then in terms of a turning point, the thing that the pessimist in me is like, we're only a week out now. How long will it take for it to all just go back to the way it was? Sadly. Bill S. Preston Esquire, I'll take insincere remorse over sincere cheering. Yeah. Let's see. ADL is Jamie Lee is trying to both sides it. No, like I said, I think the fact that she recognizes him as a father and a husband just says that she had not gotten to the point where she's dehumanized him, and that she recognizes that she's a human being just like she is. Ololi Ukui, someone can be as empathetic as they want, even genuinely, but I will not tolerate 1 microsecond of absolutely false both sides. Yes. Dark Hierophant. He challenged the indoctrination of the infected woke institution. Yeah, Ruffalo has a ways to go. Rumble Hotep, but at least it's a start. They came at him with talking points, and he responded with conversation, and they couldn't handle it. Yeah, he had his own opinion that was close to common sense. Hertz Donut. Charlie was only controversial because he went against a lot of what Hollywood believes. Bill S. Preston. Yeah, they could have said nothing. Almost better do that. Terry, all the negative stuff people are saying about Charlie Kirk is words taken out of context 99% of the time. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting how they do that. White Rat. The best way I heard someone refer to how Charlie could get animated during a debate was that he could match the energy of the people he was debating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jumping Jack 6. Hollywood has lost me. Cinema is dead to me now. Woke has killed it. They espouse values I abhor. Goat Meat. We never said offensive things. Those are clips taken out of context. And most people are terrible, terrible people. The opinions of a Christian man are their complete opposite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Jimmy, it's not so hard to have a meaningful dialogue in a world of the internet.
It is so hard. It is so hard.
Yeah, it is so hard to have a meaningful dialogue in a world of the internet and instant gratification. Everyone wants to talk, but no one wants to listen.
I hear you. I hear you, Uncle Jimmy. I hear you.
Yeah, we used to be able to debate. Tim O'Rourke. Ruffalo contributed to the violent rhetoric from the left.
I believe he did.
Yes.
And that's going to wrap it up for us today. A little shorter show. We will be back Friday with reviews of, I think, every movie opening in theaters on Friday. We're talking about it.
Damn.
We've got Doing It. We're talking about we can finally talk about Doing It. The Senior, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. Zeno. It's going to be good. And we have 2 interviews Friday with Chain Reactions director Alexander Philippe. It's a movie about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then Compulsion director Neil Marshall, both on Friday. Back-to-back interviews. We've got movies we're reviewing. And there you go. It's going to be a big show. And thanks to our mod, Lord Thaw. Thank you to Atomic Lori and Glenuccio, and thanks to Alan,
and thanks to Chris.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
thanks to you for all your thoughtful comments, both soups and non-soups. We appreciate it. This is my preferred place to talk about issues. I'm kind of shy on social media, as much as it's I share fun stuff I'm doing, but I don't like to share my thoughts on things that much.
But when you do,
but when I kind of post and ghost, or I just don't care. But this is my preferred place to chat because it's I can get into nuance and subtlety.
Mm-hmm.
Alan can challenge me. I can debate him back, and you can do the same. And I appreciate it in real time. So this is my preferred place to talk ideas. We are back Friday. Thank you so much. And today was not really a very funny show. Not gonna lie, not that funny. Except maybe that Anaconda trailer. Other than that,
yeah, not the comedy we're used to.
Yeah, we'll hopefully there'll be some levity at some point, but the things we talked about today, I really believe need to be said. And will Hollywood, with this now FCC looking at Jimmy Kimmel, is this going to change things? That's a big story. So we shall see.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk comedy, we'll be doing it on Friday.
We will be doing it on Friday. So that's it for us. And Alan, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, let's get out of here.